Hello everyone and welcome to Game 3 now in a series between TT Apollo's AK versus Gamania's Sen. Game 3 taking place here on Shakura's Plateau. It is going to be double match point for Sen as he does have a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series. Now, Sen, a very well-known player, even outside of Taiwan, perhaps the most well-known Taiwan player in the TESL. One of the other more well-known players as well would be, I would say, Fly. Fly is a player from TESL who, if you guys have been following my Warcraft 3 cast for a while, should recognize the name. I think he is Fly 100%. And really looking forward to casting more of his games. I did get a lot of the games and a lot of the series from TESL, so if you guys want more of these replays, I know I've been trying to find you guys high-level matches that are not cast anywhere else to give you guys a better viewing experience, as we now see Apollo pretty much opening up with a much more traditional build this time around, as both players know where the other opponent is, where the other player is. The Overlords crossing in the middle of the night, as now Overlords are now making their way down. This is going to be a true yin-yang with red and blue, as both of these players are setting themselves up so that they can scout out and figure out what their opponent is doing. So at this point, Sen is going to be taking a look. Sen is going to be taking a look at Apollo AK's base, and AK going to be doing the same thing, and both players just trying to figure out, okay, when are you going to start doing and deviating from the norm? We do see a hatchery down over here, a hatchery down over here, so both players opting to go for that 15 hatchery, and now both players also training up 2 additional drones. So both players are really going very heavy economically speaking. It looks like AK opting to slow down a little bit and knowing that he should be able to perhaps get that spawning pool up just slightly faster. Now, it's pretty much inconsequential at this point, as AK not going to be able to deal any damage with early Zerglings. The walking distance on Shakura's Plateau is rather large. And Sen now has, did have a 2 supply advantage. Now, Zerg versus Zerg here, Shakura's Plateau, there are ramps leading into your natural. Most likely we will see Zerglings and Queens sit up top here to try and catch some of those Zerglings before they do any serious run-bys and get inside the base. Anytime you can whittle away at those units and deal a little bit of damage is always very key. Now, Overlord position is very important here, as we see AK is moving his Overlord into a better spot. It's always important that you're able to see when units are making their way in. This Overlord was perhaps a little bit too south, and I believe if it actually sat up right here, it would be in a better position. It could catch Zerglings if they try to run across the north, and also be able to just catch this ramp here while staying outside the range of Queens. You can be a little bit more free with your Overlords now. Now that the Overlord is just slightly faster, the Overlord can get into a very good place, perhaps sit up on high ground and not take any damage, as we are now seeing Zerglings make their way across the map. Sen does have a 4 drone advantage. So as long as Sen is able to hold off this next attack, he will be in a great position, as these Zerglings are going to try to morph into Banelings before heading up that ramp and perhaps getting in a little bit of damage. Back over here you can see the spawning pool with metabolic boost. Both sides are about the same now, as we're still seeing Sen pretty much constantly hitting those injects and trying to train up more drones. Meanwhile, AK being on the offensive end, training up 10 Zerglings now, so you know that it is his strategy to try to break down this front door and deal a lot of damage here, perhaps taking down some of these drones. Zerglings now still making their way across. In comes a sea of Zerglings. What is Sen's response going to be? Sen does already have 1 spine crawler. What is his next round of units going to be? It is going to be some defensive Banelings. Banelings very effective at taking down Zerglings, as Zerglings are now going to try to run up the ramp here. There is 1 spine crawler on the ramp though, so I'm surprised that AK didn't test that ramp earlier. Zergling now trying to come up the ramp there. Banelings now trying to make their way down. So this is going to be a Baneling versus Baneling battle, and beautiful hit by Sen. Sen manually detonating that Baneling and then allowing the Spine Crawler to finish one off. So he traded one Baneling for a Baneling and two Zerglings. Always nice there, especially since he is on the defensive end and he knows that he has the economic advantage. But what is this? AK has turned it around and now gone into some drones, but these drones are rallied across the map. Where are these drones going? Alright, so AK not playing at his best right now. Those drones now being forced to retreat, return back. Going to be losing a little bit of mining time there, as there's not much that Sen needs to do. He just needs to position those Banelings, and he will be able to do exactly that, to make sure that no units are going to be able to run up. Now Sen is going into that tech to tier 2, and it looks like he will be going into a Spire based upon the gas. AK already at Spire, so AK hoping to really train up a lot more Mutalisks. He is behind in terms of Harvesters, but he's hoping that those Mutalisks are able to deal more damage now. Taking a look at the gas count, AK is also training up a lot of drones, so playing a much different style this time, as we are seeing a hidden Spire tactic come in from AK. AK hiding the Spire down over here. What will happen? And will Sen be caught off guard is going to be that key question. Meanwhile, the Spire is being built off over here. But the only tricky tactic about this is that this strategy only works if you're scouted, and Sen really has no idea what's going on inside his opponent's base. He doesn't even know he's at tier 2 just quite yet. He can probably assume so, but unless we see AK once again go for that infestation pit, that head fake, not much is going to be happening. Mutalisks will be coming out in about the next 15 seconds or so. We can see the third base already coming in from Sen. Sen establishing a very quick third and expanding towards his opponent, and I do not believe AK knows about this yet. No, he does not know about this, and that's going to be bad news, as somehow AK's Zergling, with that slight natural regeneration, it gets the victory there, as I believe this Baneling does take down two Zerglings there. The Spire is up. What is AK doing? This Spire is now starting to bleed. It needs to generate some creep, and I'm not exactly sure why. This Zergling down over here, the Zergling could spot this Mutalisk, as there are now Mutalisks in the air. There are currently 6 Mutalisks in the air against the 9 that Sen is currently training. So 9 versus 6, as Zerglings now making their way down, and it looks like this hatchery will get destroyed. The Mutalisks are looking to come in, and here we go. How much damage can be had? There is one Queen in position, but the Mutalisks of Sen are already there. There you go. Some Mutalisks are getting taken down. The Queen now getting forced to pull away. And where are those Mutalisks coming in from? Queens and Mutalisks now going to engage. AK being forced to run, as those Mutalisks getting off some very, very easy shots there. And the Mutalisks are backing away once more. The Spire now down to 200 or 600 some odd hit points, already taken 200 hit points worth of damage, as the Mutalisks are now trying to fly away again. Is there going to be a counter? Are there more Mutalisks? Are there Queens? Yes, Queens now coming back over, but the Queens were unable to get a transfuse to save off one of their own Mutalisks, as the Queen now once again trying to engage. Sen with these Mutalisks taking down drone after drone. And let's take a look at the kill count. 4 drones versus 1. Even though AK was faster with those Mutalisks, Sen is just utilizing them better with a much more economic build. And now Sen, who is up on 3 bases compared to AK's 2, just in a great position. AK doesn't realize how far behind he is until he tries to take that Zonaga Tower, finally takes it, sees that there is a hatchery already positioned here, and now could try to make its way in. Nicely done. Banelings sacrificing themselves, or Zerglings sacrificing themselves for the Banelings. Zerglings now trying to take down more drones. The Mutalisks should be able to clean this up, as Spine Crawlers are now making their way, and Sen has lost a little bit more drones, but he still has an 8 drone advantage in this battle. We are now down to 350 some odd hit points on this Spire, and AK looking to utilize that Spire, or not looking to utilize that Spire for a little while longer. The Overlord needs to start spewing creep, otherwise AK is going to lose a 200 resource building rather quickly. Mutalisks now making their way over. You can see that the Mutalisk and the Queens are making their way in. One Overlord does quickly get taken down, and we should perhaps be seeing a transition into heavy Zerglings by Sen, as Sen needs a way to deal with these Queens. Let's take a look at the Queen count. It is 8 Queens compared to 5, so 6 Queens on the field, and how much damage are they going to be able to deal here as the Queens are now making their way, going after some units here, and now here we go, an engagement going back and forth. Mutalisk, and we do see a Spore Crawler here as well. Queen's now trying to take down the Spine Crawler, and we see some massive transfusions coming in as well. Some crazy transfusions as the Mutalisk, both sides are battling out. Mutalisk count of Sen, however, simply going to be too much, as the Mutalisk of Sen now up to 17, down to 0 for AK, and Sen now with a 50 supply advantage has easily defended his 3rd base, and now with a 62 to 51 drone advantage, 16 mineral patches compared to 24, and a 4th base coming away. Sen is priming himself for the victory. As long as he can deny this hatchery, he will pretty much guarantee it, as the Queens are now trying to battle up against Mutalisk once again. Zerglings now joining in on the fight, going to be able to surround, and it looks like AK does lose to Gamania's Sen's Gamania's Sen in 3 straight games. Sen will be representing Taiwan at the WCS in Shanghai, China. Going to be an interesting event in November. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this best of 5 series where Sen pretty much beats up on TT Apollo AK. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.